Alrighty, there we go. So first of all, we can use Xcode's storyboard to do some design. Firstly, it's going to be UI view controller, and you drag and drop right here, and you could definitely implement another one. All right, okay, and then drag and drop another one here. Um, and if you decide to make this one as a the initial view controller, all right, so you draw this pointer at it, right? Okay. So for instance, I will just use this one here. Um, and you can definitely drop some UI elements here, so such as maybe a UI button, right? So for instance, I'll be drag and drop over here, and then I'll be having something here. Okay, good. All right. And you could also drag and drop, maybe you want to text the field, right? Text the field, drag and drop, okay. And then boom, all right. Then you can place some text holder, right? So for instance, maybe email, right? And then you can copy and paste to create another one, right? Okay, so this one is going to be password. And you could also create another button here. So this is probably like a login, and this one is going to be Google okay, account. And you can definitely add more, right? And usually, you could also modify the attribute, such as a background color, right? Okay. Let's see what is going on here. Okay. Attribute, background color. I'll be using maybe black, and it's a black, right? Okay. And then, so for instance, if user selects Google account, you can definitely design a present method here. So this is a push or present as a popover or simply push. All right. Push is depreciated, but you can still use it. All right. Okay. And you can also use a show. A show details present modally, right? So this modally can be like navigation controller, right? Okay. And after these, what you could possibly do is, I guess I'll be turning these um, into a different background color, right? Okay, so for instance, let's see this one. I have a background. I want this one to be blue. And the login, so I want the login um to show this one. All right. This one, I guess I want it to be the background color to be maybe brown, right? Okay. And then you can clearly see, all right. So um each button has is purpose, right? Okay, there we go. First and a second, right? Okay. And then right here, so this is my main entry, right? This is my main entry. And right here, you can also assign a view controller class, right? Okay, so I guess this is the view controller, but now it has lots of codes here, right? Okay, but I doubt the view controller is gone, so I'll be just creating a brand new one. So this one's going to be class view controller, right? And the view did load, view did import, UI kit, and then view did I need to cast it as a UI view controller, right? And then I'll be having view to load and a super view to load here. All right, and then I can definitely just remove my scene delegates, right? Okay, so, but things I just want to comment it, all right, and then underscore. And let me run this code one more time. So, then you'll be seeing, okay, so this app is managed by a storyboard design here. Okay, uh, there we go. Let's take a bit while. There we go. Okay. Um, right here. This is it. Okay. And then you'll be seeing an email address, placeholder, and the password, and the login, and the Google auth here, Google account. All right. Let's wait a little bit. Did I assign this one as the? It is the view controller, right? View controller. And yes, and then the UI is right here, right? And login, it shows exactly this, and a Google account shows that, right? Okay. And you can definitely place some email address here, right? And blah, 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 right? Okay. Um, and the storyboard method is useful when you want to design your very initial mobile app logic. Um, but if you want to create a larger scope mobile application, right? Storyboard is not very useful. It's because you definitely need to drag and drop multiple stuff, and the logic is not well managed, right? Okay, so therefore, that's why we want to use it programmatically to handle all the UI logic and the backend connections here, right? But definitely you can use this drag and drop as a playground, right? Okay, you can simply just, all right, so I have an initial view controller, right? And then push this one to this and that to that, right? Okay. And this is basically the very beginning way you can design your app here. And definitely, if you want to implement some logic here, right? So, and things it will be getting a bit tricky, right? So first of all, you need to open two working windows here. One is the code, right? The logic here. Another one is this UI board here. And it requires you to have a pretty big screen. So therefore, I do not recommend just to use a MacBook laptop. You got to use a very big monitor to handle the drag and drop here. So for instance, right here, right? Okay. And sometimes it's even just a bit easier to watch. All right, so I need to, yes, to get this one here, right? You can drag and drop this one over here, all right? And then you create a outlet here, and the outlet's name is going to be email label here, all right? And then you successfully create a email label here, and then you probably want to, oh, I remember the way to create programming programmatically is UI text of field, right? Assignment operator and that and let tx equals UI text of field, right? And then return tx. Yeah, I can tell you. So they're the same. They're very, very the same. So var declaration, and this is a let declaration. You can also change that into var. Okay. And you can definitely have a var. This is a read declaration, right? You can say var password is going to be what? Is going to be UI text of field with exclamation mark as well. See, it's interchangeable, right? Okay. Oh, there we go. And what else? Let's see. Okay. Um, and then, all right, so what you could do is you can definitely drag and drop this login, right? So I'm going to just drag and drop over here, but this one's going to be a action, all right? The action name, I guess I would just call it handle login, all right? Handle login, all right? Right here. So I'm going to simply just have, but now you do need to know how to programmatically implement the code. So first one is a guard let email val is going to be email label, right? It's going to be email label period text and else return, right? Yeah, for these, there's no negotiation. You have to know how to do this, right? And then I'll be just a print email and a val. Okay. And then all right, I'll be just running this code one more time, and then you'll be saying, all right, if I press the login button, so in the console rate, in the console, I'll be seeing whatever I implement here. So for instance, maybe hello, and then login here, right? And then I have hello here, right? So this is how would you to check, okay, if I have this user or not, right? Okay. As you can see, so no matter how you do need to know how to pass the data from one view to another, right? Okay. And then, all right, so, and then in the meanwhile, so I'm going to have maybe a global scope here. So let users is going to be maybe one, and a two, and a three, right? Let's see that. Let's see that. I have one, two, three here. Okay. Well, since I have many users, so I'm going to call that maybe a sample users, right? Okay, pretty straightforward here. And then I'm going to do a little algorithms here, right? Okay. So for instance, I'm going to traverse it. So for I in this one, all right, and then sample users pure the count. So I need to check, all right? So um if what the sample users of I, right? And then I found, or you can use a contains, right? You can use a contains. Contains what? Contains, I guess the current email val, right? Okay, I'm using email val as anchor to check if the user is in. If that is true, so simply say yes. Um, user is in, right? Okay. And else, all right. Else that simply means it doesn't fit, right? So suppose I enter four, right? So there's no such data, right? Okay. So what I do I use the else statement here? I guess probably no, right? It's basically right here. So if it passed all the iterations here, right? And then I'll be saying, okay, so no user yet, right? Okay. You do not use the else right away because, for instance, if if my user is two, right? In the first round, it fails, but actually it doesn't finish. It doesn't finish the iteration, right? Okay, so you still keep you want this program keep working on the complete range, right? Okay, there we go. All right, so and then let's run this code one more time. So then this program is getting a bit smarter, right? So it can understand, okay, if okay, if I have two, right? Okay, login and no, it has two, the user is in and no user yet. Okay, so therefore for these, okay, I do need to create another variables, which is a var is user at uh, at DB. DB simply means the database, right? And these ones are going to be what? These ones are going to be a bool, right? Okay. The bool, so initial value is going to be false, all right? And whenever this is true, so what do I do right here is I'm going to turn is user to be true, right? Okay. And then right here, so I also need to do a little check. So if is user at DB is going to be false, right? So that simply means it doesn't execute this one here. And then I need to say, all right, no user yet, right? Okay. And then, okay, there we go. And of course, so if it's true, that simply means what? I guess I can. So for instance, maybe print, show what? Show main VC rate. Okay. And then let's run this code one more time. Let's see what is going on. Okay, there we go. And now, all right. Okay. If I put two again, so login, right? So yes, user is in and show me VC and two. And you didn't see no user yet, right? Okay. And then I can do another test, which is one. Okay, good. I'm going to try four. So before I run this code, all right, by reading through this code, right? So four is not in, right? Okay. So therefore, these conditional statement would never be called, right? Therefore, this one doesn't change. It's still is user at DB is false, right? And then it is false, and then we'll show no user yet, right? Good. And then let's test it, right? So there we go. So it's a four, right? Okay. Let's see. Good. Wait a second. This one's already false, right? Okay. Oh, you know what? Okay, so wait a second. This is the four. If this is a four, this one never be. Oh, I need to run this code one more time, by the way. Yes. All right. So right here, I'm going to turn that into four and then not no user yet, right? Okay. The reason why in the previous test it didn't work, it is because, all right, um, this code has been activated, right? So is user at DB has already turned into true. So, and if I put a four into it, right? Okay, into this checker, so it doesn't go through these, but it doesn't also turn is user as a DB into false, right? It's always going to be true. So therefore, okay, you also need to like in the end, you need to reset. You need to reset um is user at DB, right? Okay. So therefore is user at DB is going to be false, right? Okay. But usually we don't do this. It is because we want is user at DB always to be activated, right? Okay. Um, yes, okay. But definitely you can reset the user as a DB just for testing reason, right? Okay. There we go. Good. Okay. But I'm going to just let me maybe have this. So if you keep this one, you can definitely check the functionality all the time, right? Okay. So for instance, firstly, I have two here, right? I have two. Okay, there we go. Two, and it is usually seen, right? And then I try one, it is one, good. Now I try four, it's going to be no yet, okay, no user yet. And then I can try three, it is no user yet. As there is a user, there's a user because it's in this array here. I try five, then it is going to be no user yet, right? Okay. Yes, then you have a reset here. So overall, this is a little inspiration of CRUD, CRUD. So CRUD means C is creation, and the R is read, and the U is updates, and the D is deletion, all right? Deletion is a deletion. So create, all right, I'm able to create, I'm able to enter something, right? So that's a create, right? And I'm able to read, I am able to traverse it, right? Okay. And I am able to update or delete. All right. So this is a little inspiration of a crowd. All right. But not actually. So because the crowd is usually is the architecture um, in software development. All right. This more like algorithm. This is more like algorithm. This is more like algorithm. It is because it has a sequencing. It has what iteration. It also has a selection, right? So what is sequencing here? As you can see, so if I turn this code right here, it doesn't work at all. It is because um, this code would not be affected by this one, right? So order matters. Okay, order matters. Okay. And where is iteration? This is iteration, checking user, right? Selection is selection. I'm selecting every single element from sample users and to check it has if it has my email well, right? Okay. So this is the iteration. So overall, it's more like a what? Uh, it's more like a algorithm. Well, it is actually algorithm. It is algorithm. All right. Okay. Uh, and then, so yeah, this is how would you check your work, check your UI and the logic if it is working very good, right? Okay. And eventually you want to use it programmatically to handle the UI, right? Okay. Um, All right. Okay, there we go. Because then you can handle the software more powerfully, right? Okay, there we go. So okay, and then we have a sample users here, right? And then, all right, in more larger scope, we can create like a sample users class, right? Class. So that is going to be codable, right? If you remember what is codable, that's a decodable, and uncodable, right? Uncodable, right? And then you can define like, for instance, like a username is going to be a string because we learned that before. So I'm going to do it really fast. And this is going to be email, right? Email, and that is going to be a string. And the var, I'm going to have a password, and this is going to be a string as well. And I can initialize it, right? Okay, there we go. And you can definitely add more, right? Okay, so more parameters. Just so that, well, how would you possibly master this? Well, just to think your social media account, right? What does your social media account have, right? It's like username, bio, password, date of birth, and maybe school information. Oh yeah, even your school's account, right? Is like what grade are you? Right? Something like that, right? Okay. And then right now, so we can turn that into something even better. So I'm going to have SU1 is going to be sample user sample user class. And then I'm going to have probably this one's going to be username, right? So username, I'm going to call that the one, all right? And I do need to fill out if I really want, I do need to fill out every parameters here, right? And the email is going to be one as well, right? And then maybe password. So password is going to be one as well, right? And then I can make a three, other two copies here, right? I'll just turn, okay. I'm being lazy, so I'll just, yeah, do this. Okay, two, okay. And then I'll do this too. No, actually, this is going to be three. All right, never mind. Okay. So then I have this three users here. So I'm going to replace simple variables by this complex here stuff, right? Okay. And then if I change that, okay, so right here is going to be a different story because yes, I'm going to check with um the user, right? I need to keep accessing its property. So this is going to be email, right? Okay. And then now I can do something here. But right here, this one, I need to turn that into exclamation mark. Well, and then um, now this is like a real social media platform account, right? So then you can also have a bio. It's going to be a string as well. And you could definitely initialize it, right? So for instance, bio. If you don't want to do that, you can definitely delete everything and let Xcode fill this out for you, right? Okay. And then you can fill out the bio here, right? Okay. And I can tell you it's exactly the same. Let me run this code one more time. It's we'll do exactly the same logic here. But this one allows you to have just a better management. Yes, a better management here. So if I put two, well, it checked the same result here, right? Okay. So I guess I can also do 42. User not yet, right? Okay, exactly. So sample users class. And you probably want to ask me, okay, why we need to use this chunky stuff here? Well, the reason is it will make your life much easier, right? So, and if you don't use, because you can do what? You can access, all right? So you can access like SU1 right here. You can access all of these data listed over here, right? Okay. Suppose you don't use this, right? You need to simply have let user name equal something, let email equal something, and let just the blah 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 blah, right? Okay, and it will be really messy if the project is very big, right? Suppose it's Facebook or Instagram. You will forget which one is which, right? Okay. And for instance, like I'm checking my sample users and email, right? If you don't do that, you need to hard code. You need to hard code the email from database, blah 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 blah. And I can tell you, okay, uh, it's a bit headache. It's a bit of headache unless you have a manual, you have instruction, you can check, okay. But no, it's not good. This is much better, right? Because from these, all right, sample user class, all right, of a certain objects here, you can check its all of its properties here, like a bio, email, password, username. It just will make your life much easier if you use this, right? Okay. And then, all right. So now suppose you're actually making a real application, right? Okay. So for instance, we have two page here. So for instance, not yet, right? I guess it will pass you to what? It will pass you to a login page. So therefore, right here, it's supposed to be a self-present, right? Self-present and not yet. Okay. It's going to self-present. And then this one, you need a what? Let log. You can use a VC equals login VC, right? So suppose you have that, right? And then you place, and then you place VC right here, and this one's going to be true. And this one is let VC equals main VC, right? And then self period present controller present controller. It's VC. This is true. All right. And at this moment of time, all right, I guess you need to definitely, all right, your class. This is a login VC, right? Okay. And login VC. This is UI view controller. UI view to load all of those uh, stuff, right? Okay. View to load. And I'll just copy these and right here, this is the main VC here. All right, then it's nice and easy, right? Okay, login VC, and I'll just use these better, right? Okay, there we go. And then, all right, so I think I can just cancel these and delete that. And then for these, okay, no thank you, right? No thank you, no thank you. Okay, no thank you. Yeah, all right. And I really don't need this, right? Maybe I do need it, but now let me run this code one more time. But I guess I want to, well, at least to turn this background into something. UI color period, let's say maybe system green, right? And for these, I want this one to be probably yellow, right? Run this code one more time. And then yes, you can simply well delete the redundant stuff here. And then login, right? No user yet, right? Okay, and how about this? This one doesn't have any functionality here, right? As you can see, so green is a login, right? So this is exactly login. But what if I enter something like two? Then I'll be having yellow because it's the main VC rate. As you can see, I can do it one more time. It's still four is going to be green, right? Because there's no such user here. Now I can do all these things I want, right? So this is a very, very basic and fundamental user authentication process. It's basically checking, okay, if there is a user, if there is, well, then go to the main page. If there's no, go to the login page, right? Okay. And of course, the Google account is basically the same. So you press this, and if it's already logged in, so then you show the main page here, right? Okay, there we go. I guess it makes sense, right? Okay. And yes, okay. And let's see. So, and definitely, And definitely, as you can see, so the drag and drop is a good to go at the very beginning process, right? But when the data is getting large, you usually don't want to use these. It is because, well, it's very difficult to manage. But this is a very good platform allowing you to explore, such as you can definitely drag and drop some UI elements you have never seen before. For instance, maybe a segment control, you drag and drop right here, then you can, yeah, you can test it right away without using auto layout or CG rect to define its location, right? Okay. But it's just only for testing. It's only for testing. Okay. And then you can use that right away. You can use that right away. Okay. And this will allow us, okay, oh, maybe I can turn first into login page or second into a sign up page, right? Okay. And then what you could do is definitely you can drag and drop here, right? You can drag and drop. So for instance, drag and drop over here. And then I would just maybe some like a sample seg, right? So the sample segment here. As you can see, it's a UI segmented control, right? Okay. And what you could do is you can definitely let's see that if whenever you press okay. You can also have another one is going to be action. It's action. So I'm going to call that maybe ASD. Okay, pretty easy. And then I'm going to have maybe print sender period. Do we have something here? Sender period of, or I can, okay. I want to print sample seg period selected segmented index. All right. Okay. And then you'll be seeing why I'm doing it. It's because the first and the second, it also has an index. The index is a 0 and a 1. All right. So 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, right? Okay. 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. So then you can use this to manage the I would say probably maybe firstly, all right? So if a sample stack period uh, is equals to 0, right? So then you can turn the background color into maybe light gray, and then else, or else you here the background color is going to be maybe let's say probably um all right, let's say red. Okay. And then let's give it a go. And then we can have something interchangeable, right? So for instance, that. Well, I guess maybe white is good, right? Okay. And then all right, so whenever we have these, okay, so then you start to realize, okay, am I able to create something programmatically? The answer is yes. So it's a lazy var, my segment, right? Is going to be what? Then you are asking yourself, what is going to be this? It is UI segmented control, right? Okay. And then the rest is exactly the same. So let as G equals UI segmented control, right? And then return as G. And then right here, like that, as easy as 1, 2, 3. And then you can also define a selected, you can also define number of segments here. So for instance, we can define probably three of those, right? We can define three of those. Let's see, the number of segments cannot assign that is, oh, it's a get only. If it's a get only, all right, so you do not assign because it's get only. All right, okay. Good. And since you have this segment control, I guess there may be some UI segmented control, delegate segmented control. I guess there's no segmented control. All right, there we go. Good. Uh, let's see. And then the rest is basically the same, right? Okay, you can also define the location size. All right. But I can tell you, so this this is a good way allowing you to understand, okay, I can definitely do this um, by drag and drop, and then maybe I can. Oh well, no, not maybe. It's definitely I can use a programmatically way to solve the problem, right? And then you can also add a switcher, right? Okay, so this is also called what? So this is if you're not sure, if you're not so sure about it, you just simply just drag and drop. You say, okay, it is what? It doesn't say, then you want a outlet, right? So the outlet is okay, it's UI switch. So it is UI switch. So therefore you can do the following trick, which is let my switch rate is going to be UI switch and the assignment operator and exactly the same things, right? Okay, there we go. And you can also just whenever you delete these, so it it will lose its connection. So basically, I'll just delete it, right? Wait a second. Yes. Then right here, okay, I can also delete it, right? Reference outlets here. So this is referring and then it's gone, right? Okay, there we go. Okay. All right. Okay, there we go. So this is basically and the handle login. So this one can be a what? This one can be a uh okay, I'm going to remove this one as well. This one is actually is Objective-C method here, right? This is the Objective-C method here. But now this method, all right, this method only has the logic. It doesn't have its actual body rate. Okay. Because I just remove it from the reference, right? Okay. But therefore you do need to create it. You do need to create a real body, right? So to handle the work. So hopefully it makes sense. And then I'm going to remove this one and probably also remove this one. All right, wait a sec. I think I do need these. So I'll just use the var. All right. This one, all right, this one's a hint, right? You can use these as a shell. All right. Uh okay, there we go. I'm going to forward this code to you too, and I want you to work on these. So by the end of the class, I want this program to handle, okay, so to handle the user authentication. All right, good. Sick.